Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to XDefiant, the game that took the entire shooter community by storm back in 2023. Everybody seemingly was hyped for this game. We had a couple of betas and a bunch of different weekends where we were able to play the game, and a lot of people were enjoying it. The XDefiant team, led by Mark Rubin, was really working with the community to make changes, and they were seemingly really working with the community. It was a nice breath of fresh air for a lot of us out there, though unfortunately, XDefiant, after those couple of betas, kind of just fell off a cliff. Like, we got so much communication from their team almost every single day, specifically Mark Rubin. But then, over time, communication started to become a bit more few and far between until eventually we went from daily updates to maybe getting weekly updates to monthly updates, and now we're lucky if we get one every 2 months, it seems like. Like, whatever happened to XDefiant? And a lot of you, I'm sure, are wondering, is the game ever even going to come out? Did it die? What happened with the game? Well, it turns out they're still working on a bunch of netcode issues, and they're still working to polish the game for launch, and they're going to be launching the game here in 2024, which I do think is actually the right move. We'll talk about that more towards the end of the video. But for right now, we did get a new update a couple of days ago from Mark Rubin, so let's go ahead and just jump into that. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope everyone had a good holiday. The team is back in the office this week, and we are ready for a great year. We will have some more specific news in the next couple of weeks as we get ready for launch, but a quick update on our progress is number A, we have addressed the weird issues that were affecting netcode, see previous update for more info, and we will continue to improve and test our netcode before and after launch. And number B, we implemented the new party system and are now just putting it through the rigorous testing and bug fixing as we get ready for launch. I want to give a shout out to those team members who worked through the holidays. Much of our team is working on future content, but many of those that are working on getting the game ready to ship did put in some hours over the holidays, and I want to recognize their dedication. We try very hard not to be a crunch studio as we care about our people and their families. The whole team is very dedicated to XDefiant, and we are super excited to launch this game. Now, that came out a couple of days ago. Like I said, we have not got any more updates ever since then, but they are saying right here that XDefiant will be launching relatively soon, and in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be getting more updates because they've been continuously trying to update the game and make it better and polish it out and bug fix it and everything else. Mark Rubin also said on Twitter, in replies to other people, they're asking about cheating in XDefiant, and he said cheating of any kind is not going to be tolerated, except maybe by him while he's grinding skins in the game, which is actually pretty cool that he said that, because he's making a joke saying that, you know, they're not going to tolerate cheaters, but also he's confirming there will be a bunch of skins and things for you to grind in the game. We did see back during the betas things like bronze camo, silver camo, and gold camo, and hopefully after all this time they've added even more things into the game to make it more fun, more interesting, and give people a reason to grind it. Now, the thing about XDefiant, right, it's gonna be a fast-paced arcade shooter. There's gonna be unique characters, unique factions, unique abilities. We all saw that. They're all derived from the different Ubisoft universes in the game, but the big thing, it's gonna be free to play. No skill-based matchmaking of any kind. They did say there's going to be like a welcome playlist where people can play in that up until level 25, and that will have skill-based matchmaking. So if you're brand new to the game, if you just want to like learn and you don't want to risk having like really good people on your team or on the other team, there will be a specific playlist for very low-level players to kind of dip their toe into the game, but after they hit level 25, which doesn't take that long, they get thrown out of that playlist and they're put in the regular map rotation, so that's pretty cool. I mean, the maps themselves are colorful and fun. Iconic weapons like the ACR, the MP5, the M16, like all these crazy old school guns that people enjoyed in old Call of Duty games are going to be part of XDefiant. Like, everything about the game was really enjoyable. It was such a breath of fresh air for COD fans like myself specifically, but just FPS fans in general. It was a new take, it was a new twist, it was fun and interesting, but it seems like they have just been in development hell over the course of the past 6 months or so, just really trying to get all the bugs smoothed out. And honestly, I gotta tip my hat to them, because if this were COD, you know, they would have pushed this out with all the problems and just not cared. But instead, they're waiting until the game is ready to actually put it out, and I think that is going to serve them really well long term. I talked about it in the past, but I thought when they were initially talking about releasing around the same time as Modern Warfare 3, that was going to be a bad idea. Don't do that. The brand new COD game, like, why try to compete with a juggernaut like COD? Just don't do it, especially during the fourth quarter, during, you know, Black Friday and Christmas. I mean, people are going to be getting a whole bunch of games around that time, and this newer game, while fun and interesting, it's still a newer game as compared to being something that is established, a franchise, things that people already know and people already love, right? So now that we're in 2024, Modern Warfare 3 is well past the honeymoon stage by this point, and not a lot of other games are going to be coming out, at least in the coming months. Now seems like the perfect time for them to release, because that franchise fatigue fatigue of COD, like people dealing with skill-based matchmaking 24/7, that's kind of like weighing on people. People are ready for something new right now. They're grinding their camos. They probably got their Interstellar or they're close to it. They relived all the nostalgia of the Modern Warfare 2 maps. Like they've seen Modern Warfare 3. And now, you know, 2-3 months later, whenever XDefiant eventually releases, that's going to be the perfect time because you can jump in there. It's free to play, no skill-based matchmaking. You just have fun with it, enjoy the game for what it is, and then maybe jump back on COD if you want to do that and play both games. Or maybe if you're done with COD and you want a brand new game, you can jump in XDefiant and just enjoy it for what it is. Like, now is the perfect time for them to release. So I really do think that what they're doing is fantastic. Like, what they're doing is they decided to not push the game out when it wasn't ready. They decided not to try to compete with the fourth quarter and Call of Duty and all the big releases that come out every November and December. They're coming out at the perfect time right now. They really are. And the fact that, once again, the game's going to be free to play and there's no skill-based matchmaking and the gameplay itself was already fun back during the beta, you know, I think they have a recipe for success here. I'm very excited for the game. The videos definitely do pretty well here on my channel. So as long as there is an audience for people that want to watch that kind of content, I will be covering XDefiant when it comes out. We're going to see where that goes. Obviously, I'm always going to be a COD channel, but doing both at the same time for a bit could be pretty fun. And in general, though, I'm just looking forward to having a new shooter game to play, a new shooter game to enjoy, and a new shooter game that doesn't make me want to tear my hair out after playing it for 30 minutes because every single game feels like there's money on the line when I just want to chill out and bullshit with my friends, grind camos, and have fun. You know, that's all I really want out of COD, but you guys know Call of Duty, man. It's all about that bottom line. It's all about appeasing those new players, and it's all about skill-based matchmaking in the shop anymore. So having something new that is like the antithesis of what COD has become, that is going to be interesting, and I'm very curious to see how all this is going to play out long term and what these new updates we're going to be getting in the coming weeks are going to be, and eventually when they're finally going to release the game. I mean, they haven't given us a date yet, but it is going to be coming, and as always, I will keep you all posted as we learn more, as new updates come out, as new stories develop. But for right now, that's it for this video here today. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.